Julie Connor and Antonio Lopez didn't just fall in love on screen. They fell in love for real. The girl who fought her way onto a boys' basketball team, she married her co-star. 20 years later, still together, still married. And that's not even the wildest part of this story. Before we go through the full Deering Tornadoes roster, quick, who were you watching with Saturday morning cereal in hand that theme song kicks in? Was it your brother? Your best friend from 2 houses down? Drop that name in the comments. I want to know. Now, we're updating the entire cast for 2026. And we're starting with a name so big, he was famous before this show ever existed. 2-time NBA All-Star, 13 seasons in the league. The man shared a record with Magic Johnson. And then in 1995, he walked onto a soundstage and became a high school basketball coach on Saturday morning TV. That was Coach Bill Fuller. And the reason he worked, the reason kids believed every play he drew on that whiteboard, is because Reggie Theus had actually lived it. Remember the episode where Fuller ran that full-court press against Richfield, and you could tell he wasn't reading lines, he was coaching. For real. That was the magic of it. Theus anchored the show for 3 seasons, then left to call NBA games for TNT. So where is he now? He's 68. He's the head coach and athletic director at Bethune-Cookman University. And this year, 2026, he led them to a SWAC regular season championship. The man never stopped coaching. He just found different kids to believe in. But Coach Fuller wasn't the only sports legend on this show. A Hall of Fame linebacker, one of the most feared men in NFL history, would later take that whistle. We'll get to him, I promise. First, let's rewind to season 1. A 17-year-old girl from a small town in Texas, her very first TV role. Here's a question. How do you leave a show after 13 episodes and still end up more famous than half the cast? Hilary Tuck was 17 when she joined Hang Time as Samantha Morgan in season 1. She'd done one movie before this, Camp Nowhere, 1994. And then, after a single season, she was gone. Straight into Disney's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the TV show. 3 seasons as Amy Selinsky after that. Life as a House with Kevin Kline. Guest spots on Grey's Anatomy, The Mentalist, Grimm. She's 47 now. Married Bobby Kroll in 2010. 2 kids, Jasper and Cleo. She left acting behind. But those 13 episodes, they're still out there, still playing. Someone had to fill that roster spot. The kid who stepped up had been acting since 5th grade, 20 years. That's how long Christian Belnavis disappeared. After season 1 of Hang Time, he vanished. No guest spots, no interviews, nothing. The kid who'd been in movies since he was 10. Who'd worked with Paul Hogan in Almost an Angel at age 10. Just stopped. And then around 2014, he came back. How to Get Away with Murder. SWAT. Young Sheldon. Blackish. He even stepped behind the camera, producing on All Rise and American Housewife. He's 46 now, and his story might be the most interesting one on this list, because it proves that walking away doesn't mean the door closes behind you. But while Belnavis left after 1 season, what about the guy who survived the biggest cast shakeup in the show's history? Season 2. New producer Peter Engel. Half the cast gone. Only 4 actors made the cut. Daniela Deutscher, Megan Parlen, Reggie Theus, and Chad Gabriel. That tells you everything. Danny Melin was never the flashiest guy on the court. He was the one who set the screen, made the extra pass, kept the play alive. and Gabriel played him with that same steady energy for 3 seasons. After Hang Time, he moved to features. After The Sunset with Pierce Brosnan, Guess Who with Bernie Mac, The Pink Panther with Steve Martin. He also did voice work. He's 51 now, low profile. But that filmography, Saturday morning to Hollywood blockbusters, speaks for itself. I'll be honest. Every time I see Danny Melin's face in a rerun, I think about the people who just show up. Every day. No drama, no headlines. Just reliable. There's something to that. Quick, how many of you had a secret crush on one of the tornadoes? Danny, Julie, someone we haven't gotten to? Tell me in the comments. You're definitely not the only one. Next, we're going to Toronto, because the next player on this list acted opposite Edward Norton in one of the most intense films of the 90s. Before Danso Gordon ever touched the Hang Time set, he'd already shot a national commercial with Charles Barkley. He was 15. Born in Toronto, raised in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Gordon came to LA and joined the show in season 4 as Kenny Silk Hayes. 3 seasons. But what he did next is what separates him from almost every Saturday morning actor. 1998, American History X with Edward Norton. 2005, Dear Wendy, written by Lars von Trier. Premiered at Sundance. 2014, Heaven is for Real with Greg Kinnear. He also became a series regular on Disney's In a Heartbeat and starred in the N Network's South of Nowhere. He co-owns the Caleb Clothing Company. He co-directed a short film called Cole that won Best Actor at the Playhouse West Film Festival in 2007. He's 46. Actor, director, entrepreneur. Saturday morning was the starting line, not the finish. We've met the ones who came and went. Now, the ones who stayed until the final buzzer. And one of them traded a cheerleader uniform for something nobody saw coming. Some people join a show and leave. Adam Frost joined in season 3 and never left. 4 consecutive seasons, all the way to the series finale in 2000. While other cast members rotated in and out, Frost locked down the role of Michael Manning and held it. Born in Vancouver, making him the second Canadian on the Deering Tornadoes alongside Danso Gordon. After the show, he did JAG, Roswell, a few films. And then, silence. No public social media, no interviews, no headlines. He's 48 now. He might be the most private person on this list. His partner in those final 4 seasons was a young woman from Miami Beach. She got the call of a lifetime and had exactly 4 days to change everything. Here's a casting story. Amber Barretto recorded an audition tape in New York. Peter Engel watched it, flew her to LA. She got the part that same day. And then she had 4 days to go back, pack up her life, and move across the country. 4 days. She wasn't new to this. She'd been Emily Ann Sago on All My Children since she was 8. But Hang Time from season 3 through the finale became her home. Christy Ford went from the sideline cheerleader to the center of some of the show's most emotional storylines. Remember when she stood up to the rival squad and the whole gym went quiet? After the show, the OC American Dreams. Medium. Cuts. Then around 2008, she walked away. She's 48, married Gregory Locks in 2007, 2 kids, a life far from cameras. We're in the final 3 now. And the next name went from Deering High straight to a film set with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Class president, twice. Baseball captain, chorus, school musicals. won the Goodspeed Guild Musical Theater Award in East Haddam, Connecticut. Then enrolled at NYU as a drama major. Then dropped out after one semester to fly to Hollywood. Famiglietti landed the role of Nick Hammer in season 4. And here's something true fans remember. Nick Hammer was the only character in the entire series who got a real goodbye. Not an unexplained disappearance, not a throwaway line. In the season 5 premiere, Hello and Goodbye, the show gave him an actual send-off. That was rare. That mattered. After hang time. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Recurring roles on Bones and Mad Men. Aquarius with David Duchovny. He also became a screenwriter and producer, penning a screenplay called Succubus for MGM and writing a book called The Divorce Party. He's 46 now. Married Heather Neff in 2007. 2 kids. From a small-town stage in Connecticut to the Terminator franchise. 2 names left. Both of them were there from the very first frame to the very last. 104 episodes, 6 seasons, every single one. The first of them carries a secret that links Saturday morning TV to Morgan Freeman and the mysteries of the universe. Before she was Mary-Beth Pepperton. Before she became one half of the only duo to appear in all 104 episodes. Megan Parlen was a 12-year-old standing on the bridge of the USS Enterprise. Star Trek: The Next Generation, Season 6, Rascals. She played the young Ro Laren. She was 12, and her career had actually started 9 years before that. At age 3, in a milk commercial. She was 15 when Hang Time premiered. For 6 seasons, Mary-Beth Pepperton went from the snooty head cheerleader everyone loved to tease into the emotional core of the entire show. She won the Young Star Award in 1997 and earned 2 more nominations. And then she did something that, honestly, I think about a lot. She walked away from acting completely. Enrolled at USC's Annenberg School, earned a master's in broadcast journalism, and became a documentary producer. Her credits: Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman, National Geographic Explorer, Vanished from Alcatraz, from a cheerleader's megaphone to a producer's chair beside Morgan Freeman, from Star Trek at 12 to the edges of the known universe. She's 45. Private life beautifully kept that way, but her work behind the camera keeps finding stories that matter. And now, the moment this whole video has been building toward. At the very beginning, I told you about a love story that started on a basketball court. A girl who fought her way onto a boys' team and fell in love with her teammate. Not in the script, for real. It's time to meet her. She was the show. From the very first scene. When Julie Connor walked into that gymnasium and demanded a tryout for the boys' team. Daniela Deutscher carried this series. 104 episodes, 6 seasons, every frame. And here's what gave Julie Connor her soul. Daniela wasn't pretending. She grew up in Olympia, Washington. Varsity basketball all 4 years. 2 Black Hills League MVP awards. When Julie sank that 3-pointer in the pilot, the one that shut up every guy in the gym, that wasn't a stunt double. That was Daniela. Her teammates' reactions, those were real too. After the show. Special Forces in 2003. The NBC series Las Vegas. The Bold and the Beautiful. The unaired DC Comics pilot Aquaman in 2006. She modeled in Japan, trained in Taekwondo. But there's one role she seems to treasure above all others. And it didn't happen in front of a camera. Remember what I told you in the first seconds of this video. Julie Connor and Antonio Lopez fell in love, not just on screen. Daniela Deutscher and her co-star Jay Hernandez met on that set. They married in 2006. As of 2026, 20 years. 20 years. In an industry where relationships are measured in months, these two built something that started on a fictional basketball court in Deering, Indiana, and became the most real thing either of them has ever known. Jay Hernandez went on to become a household name. El Diablo in Suicide Squad. Thomas Magnum in the Magnum P.I. reboot. 4 seasons on CBS. A final season on NBC. Through every red carpet, every premiere, Daniela was right there. She's 50 now. Wife, mother, former athlete. The woman who proved that a girl belongs on any team she chooses. She was Julie Connor. She was the show. Before we close, there's someone we need to honor. Coach Mike Kadowinski. Richard Marvin Butkus. Born December 9th, 1942 in Chicago. 8 Pro Bowls. 5 first-team All-Pro selections. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1979, his very first year of eligibility. The Bears retired his number 51. Forever. To the world, he was one of the most terrifying linebackers who ever lived. But to Saturday morning audiences, he was Coach K. Butkus joined Hang Time in Season 4, replacing Reggie Theus, and for 3 seasons, from 1998 to the series finale, this giant of a man played a gentle, wise mentor. Remember when Coach K caught the team sneaking out before curfew? And instead of yelling, he just sat down on the bus steps and told them about the time he almost threw away his own career. That was Butkus. That quiet warmth. That was the version of him Saturday morning kids got to keep. On October 5th, 2023, Dick Butkus passed away peacefully in his sleep at his home in Malibu. He was 80. Beside him, as she had been for 6 decades, was his wife, Helen, his high school sweetheart. 60 years with the same person. From a Chicago high school hallway to Malibu sunsets, Coach K taught those kids about teamwork. But the greatest lesson he gave was the one he lived every day. Rest easy, Coach. You know what stays with me after making this? It's not who got the biggest movie deal. It's that I can still hear the theme song. Right now. In my head. And if you've made it this far in this video, so can you. At the top of this video, I asked you who you were sitting next to on that couch. I want to go back to that for a second. Because here's the thing. The Deering tornadoes are in their 40s and 50s now. Some are raising kids. Some left Hollywood entirely. One married her co-star and built a 20-year love story. And one, the big, fearless coach with the gentle heart, isn't here anymore. But those Saturday mornings, those are still yours. Nobody can take those. So, which transformation surprised you most? Megan Parlen, producing documentaries with Morgan Freeman. Christian Belnavis, disappearing for 20 years. Or that Julie Connor's love story was real. Tell me. And while you're down there, subscribe so we can keep doing this. Hit the bell. And send this to whoever was sitting next to you on that couch. They need to see this too. Thanks for watching. Thanks for remembering.